this whole culture of just building junk is it's annoying. It literally pisses me off. Why doesn't anybody try to make anything nice anymore? Or at least even good? This is the hot take you're looking for. I'm ready to take on the internet. I wouldn't even say stupid cars. Just stupid in general. The last thing I saw was a 65 mile an hour picnic table. Like, it has to stop.
No.
Yes.
Why?
I think I saw that video. Yeah.
So stupid, man.
How is it stupid? It's fun.
Is it?
Yes. Welcome back to another episode of Modified with TrickFactory Customs. If this is your first time listening, my name is Elvis.
Tim?
I'm Rob.
And on this podcast, we talk about modified cars because we're a custom shop based here in British Columbia, Canada. And on this episode, we are going to be discussing stop making stupid go fast. Tim suggested this topic, or he mentioned it a while back, so this is gonna be fun. And I don't think Tim and I are gonna agree on almost anything that he says.
No, I don't think we are.
You guys are always polar opposites.
So this is gonna be a fun one. Before we get started on that topic, what's happening? How's it going?
We're doing well. It's good. Shop's been really busy. We're lining things up for the show seasons. Well, not that we really put a lot of value in just doing show stuff, but it's the turn of season now, and everybody's chomping at the bit to drive. So we're preparing to get out there, drive, go to some meets.
What cars are on the to take list?
We don't know yet.
We got a lot of really cool cars in the shop right now.
You're wanting to take your Porsche?
I want to be able to take my little 996. I'd like to I'm just looking to have it done. So one thing that I like use show season deadline or things for is like gives you hard deadlines to finish things. And that's really good for motivation, light the fire. I'm a little ways away right now as of recording this to be able to drive my car anytime soon, because I have some major things I got to make for it. But that being said, we have other things that we'd be taking, and more than likely they will be that and not mine.
No, your car is still. You've been doing a bunch of stuff to your car.
I don't even know what he's doing.
I have a list of things that I have that I need to accomplish for my car.
What do you need to do?
Like I'm building new rocker panel extensions from scratch.
Okay.
I just barely got started on those. So
full exhaust.
I have to build an exhaust system for it. The same system that we did on another 996 that we did in the past. That we did the Milesworks wide body. I love that exhaust system. It sounds very exotic. And so I have two of those exhaust systems that I need to make. I got to make one for my car. And then I'm also going to make one for Tim's slant nose wide body 996. But my car it's a pretty deep dive into like fiberglass modifications and, a little bit of aero bits that I'm making. While I do the heavy lifting, the boys in the background have been working on getting some of the parts into final paint, like my rear deck lid and wing, which is essentially from a GT3 Cup car.
It looks amazing.
A little bit modified. We did some fun stuff with that, but that's now in final paint, so that's ready to go on. And I'm like restraining myself deeply every day from just tossing it on a car because I just want to see it on there. But I'm not going to do that because I want to leave some of the final reveal for the finished car, and I'm going to kind of hold off on that. But anyways. That's pretty long-winded. My car is not going to be ready anytime soon because I got some work to do. But we have other cars that we're going to be taking out.
Evo, I guess you still need
the Evo has to go out. The slant has to go out.
So you got an M-Tron ECU for it?
Yes.
So that M-Tron ECU gives you the opportunity to run torque management, traction control, dual throttle body control with all the safeties built in. There was major limitations
with what we had before
with the AEM Infinity. That was a perfectly fine ECU, but it wasn't able to do the dual throttle body setup on your car with any margin of safety.
So
it kind of forced
over again.
Kind of forced a reset on the ECU.
And it's also been busy at the shop. The guys have been working on the AMG GT, trying to get it glorious. I just saw it today, and it looks like the gaps are getting tighter and tighter, and it looks so good. Like so far, they've done some amazing work. So
Yeah, the boys are working hard on that one. That's pretty cool. It's going to be nice to see that car come through to at the end, because it's such a cool car.
yeah, that body kit too is gonna look amazing.
Yeah.
Then 2.516. Cosworth 2.516 Mercedes 190E, that's getting closer and closer to be done.
We thought we were done, but it's got a bunch of electrical gremlins that I got to try to chase out of it. So
Yeah.
It looks
cosmetically, it's perfect. Looks beautiful. Then we did a full service on it, got it up and running, and discovered that it's got a bunch of somebody's been in there
Oh no.
customizing things. So I probably got a day or two of that, and then I think it's finally done.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah.
So we'll have to do a podcast on why you don't want to buy a 190.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, we should probably talk about that and different sort of varieties of the 190s. And
190s have become the rage, apparently. The new
Yeah, but
rage.
you can't get anything for them, so it's literally a nightmare.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a whole topic on that coming very soon once we get this thing done. With that said, and I have been working on my Jag again. It's finally nice. Got the throttle cable installed. I'm almost done with the transmission cable or extension or whatever, making the whole system work. And I feel like it's giving me some new excitement again, because after a while, all the terrible weather that we've had, and I've just been like, I'm just done with this car. But
yeah, I want to see that thing come through at the end, man.
if you don't know, it's an XJS Jaguar 1976, or Jaguar as the Brits would call it. And it used to have a V12. We replaced that with an LS to make it more reliable. And the motor is in
I hope you get
transit.
hated on for that.
What?
I hope you get hated on for that.
Why?
Because I get hated on for it all the time. Why wouldn't you keep the V12? Why didn't you build the V12?
The V12 is gross. I'm not a purist, so
What a waste.
I know. Very, very
fucked
sad.
You should have put $25,000, $30,000, $40,000 in that V12
No,
to make
man.
260 horsepower.
No.
No, okay.
I'm not interested in the V12. Would have been cool, but I'm not. I like reliability. I bought this engine and transmission for like $1,000 US, and yeah, hopefully it works. I don't know if it's gonna work yet.
The man who speaks about reliability
Hopefully
is
it
rolling
works.
the dice.
So we'll see. After when I'm done with this transmission cable thing saga, I'm having to do some welding to join some parts that are not supposed to be joined. So we'll see how that goes. But when that is done, I think that's it. And no wiring. Crap. I forgot about wiring.
We could have a podcast just about this topic alone.
Wiring. Dang it. So
Now, what about the exhaust?
oh crap. Also exhaust. That's fine. We need to build an exhaust.
What the?
I got enough of my own shit to do.
need to build an exhaust.
There's no we.
I'm getting sensitive
Come
to
on,
the
man.
word we nowadays.
I got my own stuff to
I got my own shit too.
I don't have a good fabrication experience, so I need some amazing, talented fabricators over here.
I don't think you can afford it.
Man, my schedule is pretty busy.
I've
We
heard
were
your
just
budget.
talking about my car,
I've
weren't we?
heard your budget many times, and I can tell you already you cannot afford it.
Oh man.
Oh no, this is a disaster. Well,
Let's just
we'll
just
see what
send it.
happens. We'll see what happens. And so, with that said, we are going to get started on this episode. So,
Okay.
Tim, what gave you the idea for this topic of stop making
Most
stupid cars?
recently, I wouldn't even say stupid cars, just stupid shit in general. The last thing I saw was a 65 mile an hour picnic table. Like it
that.
has to stop.
No.
Yes.
Why?
I think I saw that video. Yeah.
So stupid, man.
How is it stupid? It's fun.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you imagine rolling around in a 60 mile per hour picnic
Why?
table?
It's such a waste.
Because
I
you
don't
can.
get it. I don't understand it.
Okay, it's like this whole thing nowadays where everybody gets so invested in like absolutely unbelievably weird shit. Like you're just showing me that flamethrower DJ guy. It looked like he was from like Chechnya or some shit.
Making
and it was
some
like
wild thing.
It was. I mean, respect, because like, dude, guy put some real effort into it. But I'm like, why?
What was he making?
I don't know. It was
I don't even know what it is. He made music.
It's like a beat. He made like a beatbox with a flamethrower.
That's pretty cool.
It was like that. It was like
That's pretty sick.
every like blast of like ignition of fuel coming out of this thing was like make a sound like.
Oh, that's sick. That's amazing.
And I was just like, what the?
What's wrong?
Like
with
that
That's
is
sick.
It's super admirable. Because like real thought had to go into that for sure. But
Yeah.
yo,
And so stupid things. So let's again clarify what stupid things are, not just cars. Apparently,
No, anything stupid. People try to make stupid shit go fast all the time. Shopping carts, go-karts, all these things.
so why should they stop?
Because these are the same people that hit me up for advice on projects and all these things, and then you're out here just doing dumb shit. Like, man, you need to narrow your focus and stay on task.
yeah.
But
I'm thinking that the effort could be spent, in other ways more efficiently. Yeah.
But I feel like I'm gonna be the defense for these people.
Okay, do it. You are those people. You are literally those people.
No, I don't have any stupid things that go fast.
What?
You have a lack of commitment.
Yeah.
A lack of commitment?
Yes.
How?
If you had more focus, I feel like you would have a lot of stupid shit.
What kind of focus? I feel like
Follow through. If you could get it through to the end, I feel like you would probably have an LS swap picnic table.
yes.
The only thing stopping you is ability.
True. Yeah, I would be one of those
I know
people.
you would.
Because it's just funny. Like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes people need like laughter in their lives, and that is a very good way to achieve it.
It is.
LS
true.
swapping a picnic
That's true.
table
Well, I don't think it was an LS, but
or any motor in general. I think I was watching this video. I think it was on Gas Monkey Garage of that little BMW, like Isetta or whatever they call it, like that very tiny car, and they put like not a massive motor, but a motor that was way bigger than what it came from the factory in the back with like thick boy rubbers.
yeah, but this stuff never goes anywhere.
They drove it. It was
Yeah,
like,
and it'll probably be the last
It
and
was-
only time it was ever driven.
True.
I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Okay.
So right now we're talking about stupid shit. People putting motors in shit that shouldn't have motors. That's stupid. The initial conversation was making slow cars go fast.
Okay, so let's go with that. So
We can go with that.
okay, so slow cars. So you're saying cars that came with what 100 horsepower from factory or something?
No, people putting stupid shit in cars that were never meant to have it. Like, I understand doing motor swaps, trying to get more power, but you got people trying to put LSs in CRXs and Hondas and all these things with zero consideration for making the car go fast.
How?
They have no suspension, they have no brakes, they have no handling, they have no nothing. You just have a giant motor in something that you can't even drive fast. It just seems like a waste of time and effort to me. You have to build a whole car.
Yes.
But nobody, you go on the internet, you go in our comments, and it's just like, why didn't you put a V16 in it? Because it can't even handle what it's got. Why the hell am I going to put some other giant motor in it? And no matter what you do, the motor's never big enough. And then you never see this shit get used or go down the road or be utilized in any way. It's like you're literally creating a goofy engine stand. Like, that's all you're really doing.
Yeah.
I want to see this shit get finished and see how bad it is. Just show me how good it is then.
I don't think it's gonna be like for the V8 in a CRX.
Like, what's wrong with trying to achieve something?
trying to achieve something?
Something good.
They are trying to achieve
How come nobody's
something.
trying to make something good? No, when you're putting a LS in a CRX, you know it's going to be shit.
How is it gonna be
You
bad?
100% know it's gonna be shit.
Okay, so how is it gonna be bad? Like
The wheelbase is too short.
Wheelbase is too short.
You can
Motor's
say
too heavy. It was never designed or set up to.
It'd be sketchy.
They
as
make
shit.
it roll.
the LS is light though.
It's
Doesn't
not
matter.
in comparison
We're
to a
talking-
four-cylinder
The
Honda.
four-cylinder, I don't think it's that much different in weight.
Come on.
You throw a overpowered engine package into it. Even if the weight was comparable or lighter, you're still going to be overpowering the chassis for the dynamics in which it was actually engineered to fucking perform at.
Doesn't even make sense.
Why?
Because it doesn't make sense.
You could say that for
There's a
your
million.
190. It doesn't
Yeah,
make
100%.
sense for
It
to
doesn't
have-
make sense.
Yes.
But in that particular car, at least it's close to what was original, and then the weight balance of my car is actually almost perfect. This whole culture of just building junk is just, it's annoying. It literally pisses me off. Why doesn't anybody try to make anything nice anymore? Or at least even good? This is the hot take you're looking for. I'm ready to take on the internet. Like, I'm literally ready to take it on.
I think people still make nice things. Like, that's the
Some
very
people
general.
do,
That's
and
a
that's
very
what you should
general
be trying to
topic.
emulate.
Yeah.
Not all this shit. Like, this stuff is just getting to be too much. It's just getting dumber and dumber and dumber.
It is entertaining to make something that is just for laughs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just think there's too much of it.
Yeah, and that doesn't really. That's still fucking. The opinion is that Tim thinks that shit is junk. So, the entertainment side of it doesn't hold any value in his opinion.
In my world at all.
But your car. Let's.
My problem is this stuff is having an influence, which it is intended, that's influencer, and an impact on the entire industry.
How so?
Because you get, how many kids do you get in here? Like, if everything doesn't have 2,000 horsepower, some ultra exotic engine put in something that it shouldn't be, then it's just not even worth talking about. You're guilty of it too.
How? What? No.
You put any retarded engine into anything that it shouldn't be in, and right away you're excited.
Of
So
course
you're
I'm
part of the
excited.
problem.
Why? Why would
You're
I be
literally part of the
excited?
problem.
What? Yo, like, come on. Like an
Come on, what?
M120 V12 from a Mercedes.
Yeah,
in, like,
you would put it in a shopping cart and be excited about it.
Yes. What's the
Why not
issue
find
with that?
something good to put it into, where your efforts are going to be for an end goal to achieve something that works good, that functions good, that you can be proud of in the end?
You can be proud of a V12 shopping cart.
No, you can't.
I would. I think in this point, I think in this situation, it's very dependent on the individual, because I would be very proud of that's a lot of engineering thinking
What engineering?
about it.
No.
There's no engineering at all.
Oh, okay. Let's go.
What are
to
you
these-
engineering?
The chassis making that work.
Okay,
in-
what your perception of engineering is completely different. Like, you're not engineering anything. You're just making it go down the road. Engineering it is having a goal in mind, a level that it needs to achieve, or expectations. So when you're engineering something, you're given a goal.
Okay.
And that's literally what an engineer is. Like, we need this to do this specifically. Figure out for it to do that. You're not engineering anything. What are you engineering?
things.
What? Tell me
Okay.
what the goal and purpose of putting a V12 in a shopping cart is.
It's sick. It's sick. That's it.
It puts a
it.
smile on your
It
face.
puts it exactly.
So what do you need
And
to
to
engineer
me,
for that to happen?
the whole suspension system? First of all, I think you've got. This is also hypothetical. Like, I don't think anyone is going to fit an engine in a
It's
shopping
been done.
cart.
It's 100% it's been done.
No, but not something that big. Like the M120, for example, is massive.
They probably
And-
put bigger shit in it.
True, just make a massive
I've seen
shopping
Hemis
cart.
in shopping carts. I just don't understand it. Like, I just need to understand.
Okay, then okay, let's go to a typical example. So Grindhouse Plumbing Co. They do a bunch of random engine swaps and interesting things. And I think it's pretty sick. And they use their stuff. For example,
Right.
their chopper thing that they're doing with the 40-inch tires or 46-inch tires or whatever. Like, that thing is insane. And they had to engineer a bunch of stuff just to even make the steering system work, a bunch of other things, and they use it. So what's the problem with that part?
There's no problem with
It's
that at all.
perfect. Exactly.
Yeah, but I think for entertainment purposes, because I watch their channel too, and I actually really like their channel.
I would say out of all the
enter-
channels, they're probably one of the only ones that follow their shit through until it works.
and they're the first ones to tell you when it doesn't work, and then they make it work, and then it's like they'll tell you whether or not it works good or not, and that's really cool, and that's the admirable thing about their channel. Why I respect their channel and the entertainment purpose behind it. But there's a lot of other people out there in the world that are not doing that.
Let's go to your car, for example. 190E, Mercedes, 1500 horsepower, big LS in it. It didn't come from the factory like that.
Nope.
So some might say that.
Yeah, but I'm the first person to admit that it's stupid.
Okay.
And the reasoning for building it was literally to generate a certain amount of height.
Okay.
And did it work the way, like now, we have an upcoming project that I will approach much, much differently than I approached that one. So could we say that I met my goals when I decided to build that car? 100%.
Yeah. So then.
Was it smart? No. Would anybody out there that's any kind of legitimate car builder or motorsports professional think that that's a smart car? No. It's stupid. It's literally stupid.
Yeah. But the bottom line, though, with that particular project and example is that it will still function reasonably well as a car. Like
as a car, it'll
as
work
a
perfectly.
car, as a
race
street car,
terrible.
As a street car, it'll be a really good car, especially with the M-Tron and all of that being able to actually manage the overwhelmingly large amount of power that thing is producing.
But at the same time, how long has that evolution been since that car was completed? It's been another 4 years, 5 years of stuff. Steering, brakes, ECU to make everything work properly. We had to do tons of stuff to make it better. Why? Because it sucked. I put a giant motor in a slow car. You're pulling out like 145 horsepower motor and putting 1500 horsepower in its place, which, based on the internet, is completely acceptable.
Of course,
100% acceptable. Nobody ever talks like, what kind of brakes you got in there? What kind of suspension do you have in it? How does this function? How does that function? Nobody. It's just put a bigger motor in it.
Exactly. The only thing that matters is power.
That's it. Until you try to use it for anything.
We all love more power.
Yeah, everybody does.
Yeah, we all love
Doesn't
more
make it smart. I'm just as guilty as everybody else for doing it, but now I'm trying to be smarter.
The 190, you know, Tim's car was purpose built for grabbing attention. It did all that, and now he's working on making it a better functioning car. But that base car to begin with, at least wasn't a stupid car. Like that 190, and everybody that's ever driven a 190 knows the 190 chassis, that platform is a really good car. You know, they drive really, really well. And it just, you know, if you're going to add that much more power and you're going to do aero and you're going to do all these other things to it, it just requires a much, much deeper level of consideration to make it a proper functioning vehicle. But at least the base was something decent. It wasn't like putting a twin turbo 1500 horsepower motor into a fucking Dodge Omni or a Honda CRX. You know what I'm saying? Like at least the wheelbase, the track width, and everything about the car was at least somewhat reasonable.
What is wrong with a short wheelbase?
Nothing.
Nothing really. But like if you throw a ton of power at it and you using like, say, suspension geometries that were designed for something considerably less powerful or considerably less engineered for the speed levels in which it's going to be sort of moving at now with more power,
if you look at anything,
then it's going to be scary as fuck.
There's a ratio and proportion to everything.
How so?
Like you look at any of those small cars, what amount of horsepower do they normally top out at? Not because they have to top out there, it's because that's where it stops making sense. And then you'll see the transition, look at like an LMP car that makes a ton of horsepower, like this thing. That wheelbase is its wheelbase for a specific reason. So, and it's in relation to being able to put the power down and be able to handle it in a certain way.
Oh, okay.
Whereas you see all these short wheelbase cars, where do they stop putting power in them? At like 300 horsepower, 280 horsepower. It's not because Audi ran out of power. It's because it stopped making sense. And that's why.
Oh, that's interesting.
So you're just kind of like coming back to like total chassis balance. Like, does the chassis geometry and wheelbase track width, does it balance out to the power level of that engine. Is it a front drive, rear drive, all-wheel drive? What is it? All of that stuff, front, mid, rear engine, like what is it? All of these things, if you take something that's, say, a front, like a front engine, front drive, and then all of a sudden throw a big fat front engine into it with a rear drive in a really short wheelbase car that, and then you're just connecting the dots with some rectangular tubing, maybe, some sort of cage work. Are you really making anything good? I mean, it'll function. It probably won't function very well, and it'll probably be somewhat terrifying to drive because it'll more than likely be very twitchy. And we talk about understeer, oversteer, whatever at certain levels of speed. And the faster you go, do you want to have oversteer or anything like that? That's going to be scary as fuck. And the shorter your wheelbase is, the more dramatic that point of chassis balance is going to be important.
That makes sense. Okay. Now that is
that's my fucking Cole's notes.
Yeah.
So, for a guy like yourself,
Yes.
that has the opportunity to drive so many amazing cars, how does that not stick with you?
I don't know. Yes, I do get the opportunity to drive a lot of really glorious cars.
So
but
I gotta understand why you're so attractive to things that would be super shitty.
Shit boxes?
Have you not developed an appreciation for what and why things are the way they are?
yes, I have. But at the same time, I also like things not being the way they should be.
Well, no, we've established that. That's very obvious. But they're terrible.
I know. Yeah, no, it's interesting getting to drive all of these different cars because it also lets me know, okay, this is kind of what I would want in an ideal car. This is what I don't want, like handling characteristics, steering, braking, wheelbase length.
So the more experienced
power.
you get,
Yes.
like myself, the more experienced I get, the more offensive I find that other stuff.
Interesting. I don't know. I think I just take every car as it is. Like, I'm just like, I take it without being
No.
okay.
You have a legitimate attraction to shitty stuff. Like you do. Like you're very dismissive of good stuff, and you just want it to be as sketchy and as terrifying as absolutely possible.
I am not dismissive of good stuff.
Yes,
I
you
just appreciate a lot more stuff than you do.
Well, yeah, some stuff I can just
Yeah,
can't bring myself to
I'm
appreciate.
a lot more open.
And there was probably a time when Tim was probably closer linked to how your mindset is, but like with years of experience and like actually finishing projects, trials and tribulations of like actually accomplishing, building, spending real effort into getting to the end result and things, you tend to you learn through that. Do I want to do that? No, because that will lead me down the line to it just being shit. If I just do this, it's going to be good or better.
Yeah. And maybe I might get there someday, but I don't see that happening.
Well, I mean,
I don't think you have enough experience being broken down yet.
Yeah, no, I don't.
You need more time.
Yes.
I think that is one of those learning examples that
I think what you need is it's an oversaturation of YouTube that gives you the impression that it's easy. Is you need to get really heavily invested in time and effort, and then have it perform super shitty.
Okay.
Because that feels like a real giant kick in the nuts.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
When you put in your best effort and it's like, oh, this sucks. So it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just frustrating to watch because it's like I'm literally looking for content that's legitimately awesome, and there's just so much of this crap. It just is, I don't know.
Yeah, again,
I'm getting jaded and showing my age. Like I'm literally just.
The other day I drove, it was like, I think it was a Civic or something, but this guy swapped in an Acura V6 from it. I forgot what motor. I think it was a 3.2 liter. Swapped in the V6 into this Civic, and it was awesome. But it was also there was like some imperfections, I would say, with it.
Oh, yeah?
Because, this thing had like over 300 horsepower. The original chassis had maybe like 100. And so there was like some things that come with a swapped car that you're like, okay, this is kind of.
It automatically makes you think it's fucking way too front heavy.
Front heavy, probably overpowered for its suspension and its braking.
I automatically I'm like, okay, that's gonna have like fucking front oversteer or front understeer, especially like leading into a corner, anything like that. Under braking into a corner, you're gonna be like just plowing the front end because of the increased weight.
But it was a lot more balanced than I would have ever thought. Like it felt amazing, but it's
maybe
just
while you're on throttle,
things that was kind of like, okay, this is kind of sketch. I love all of the oddball stuff. Like that for me just gets me hyped up, and it gets me.
I get it, but I just want to see
excited.
something be done.
Yeah, some of them.
Why not some? Like I have so much more appreciation if I saw a young kid building something, trying to make it good, and I just don't think there's enough of it.
Yeah,
it's all just hype, and it's just for an instant, and then you swipe past it, and away you go.
What about your Datsun, for example? Like, it has an LS in it. Mm-hmm. Is that dumb or no?
Why would it be dumb?
Because it's an LS and a Datsun. Or
yeah, but he's building a whole car.
I guess
to make
in that
be
case,
what it is. He's building a chassis. He's put the time and effort into the research and figuring it out and making it work well.
Okay, so if you put all the time and effort into researching and building a roll cage, so regardless of whatever you put over it,
doesn't have to be a roll
dumb.
cage, but he's not trying to put 2,000 horsepower in it either.
True.
Exactly. I'm trying to keep it reasonable, right? Like there's a point of diminishing returns, and like it's just stupid. Like I'm not going to try to get anywhere even remotely close to 1,000 horsepower because that's just absurd. I'm building a Datsun, 240, 260, 280Z. It's a small car. Do I need to have anything beyond 500 horsepower? No, absolutely not.
But do you want?
I'm going to, only because I can. But like, I know that going that route snowballs into other things. Like I know that I'm gonna have to do something like an M-Tron ECU. I know that, and I know that that's gonna be about $10,000. Yeah. Okay, so if I just kept it standard LS3 450-ish horsepower as the example, a factory ECU. More than enough for a Datsun 240Z. More than enough by a lot.
Yeah.
I'm going to put big fat tires on my car, but even still, it's going to be a lot. But I'm not exactly the smartest dude here either. I'm
being fun.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it for the fun of it. Mm-hmm. Because I can.
Conversation at lunch.
What?
With the blown big block Chevelle or Camaro.
Sick.
That makes 1,300 horsepower, but is like, it's got this thing sticking 3 feet out of the hood and all this shit. Is like, it's stupid, but it's cool.
Yeah.
For sure it's cool.
Yeah, and if you have the means and it makes sense, like if it checks the boxes for you, like if this is not your daily driver, absolutely.
And that's a Camaro.
Do it.
It makes sense to me.
It's like was a 67, 69 Camaro?
Honda EF,
just whatever.
Or a shopping cart.
I don't know what you have against Hondas
or a
big
picnic
engines.
table. My problem with the Honda thing, in like even putting 2,000 horsepower in a Honda, it's not a Honda anymore. It's no longer a Honda. We can't even pretend that it's a Honda. It's a billeted block shell on a tube chassis. It's a Pro Mod car. It's like calling a Pro Mod car. A Pro Mod car is basically the manufacturer of the chassis. I don't care what body you put on it. It is not what the body is. It's whoever made the chassis and built the motor, and none of those parts are OEM. Not a single one of them. So there's no such thing as a 2,000 horsepower Honda.
Why?
Because it's
no longer a Honda?
It's not a Honda. It's a billeted block. I don't think it exists. I don't even think there's a 2,000 horsepower F1 Honda.
I want to talk about weird engine swaps too.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Like the weirdest engine swaps. So I pulled this from some articles, and so let me know if it's stupid or if it's not. So this is a Ford Crown Victoria with a 27-liter tank engine in it.
Oh, yeah.
Thoughts?
That's content. That car does not work. I don't even think it's barely gone down the road, has it?
I think it does drive
Has
now.
it?
Yeah. So sick.
I mean, that's cool. I think I've seen a video of that car.
Yeah.
It's
cool.
super crazy. Absolutely absurd.
So stupid or not stupid?
Stupid. But like I want to hear it. I want to hear it
Yeah, I
in
wanna hear it
person.
and see it,
Because just
but
the
it's
sound of
stupid.
that motor would be just fucking awesome.
So next one, IndyCar V8 swapped Ferrari 458 GT3.
I mean, that's the platform. to put an
458
IndyCar motor in.
GT3 is at least a capable track car. So yeah, that
Say
sounds
probably Indy motor probably makes, similar horsepower to what came out of that car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
500-ish. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But you need a race team to actually operate it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that kind of doesn't make sense. But
So
at least the
Like
car would
how
actually
many
function
hours
well.
are you gonna get out of that motor before it needs to be rebuilt?
Yeah, that's true.
Like that would be something good for like say like a hill climb monster car or something like that. You know?
Yeah. That would be sick.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Sound.
You need deep pockets to run that one.
Hayabusa swapped Honda Beat.
That makes sense.
How does that make sense?
Well, you're assuming that it's a 650 horsepower Hayabusa engine.
No,
It could
like
be a stock
200.
250. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
I think it's fine.
Okay.
It's light.
Yeah, and that's those ones actually because the
Those
Hayabusa
kinda-
motor is like used a lot.
I think it
Smart
makes
car
sense.
swaps.
It'd be a
and things
terrifying
like
little
that.
car because it was meant to have 100
That
horsepower,
would be
but
terrifying.
I'm sure
But-
it'd be fun.
At least
Yeah.
it's compact and it's not like taking away from the weight balance too much at all. Performance numbers are staggering compared.
Gosh. Okay. Volkswagen VR6 swapped Porsche 911 Turbo.
Makes somewhat sense.
That's pretty interesting, actually.
Wouldn't be my first choice, but I mean, it's not ridiculous.
It's not horrible. It's kind of like comparable dimensionally to
And
like
the
a
horsepower wise.
like a K swap almost because of the way the motor's laid out.
Yeah. This one makes 1,200 horsepower.
Yo,
That's
I mean
pretty
that's insane. Like that's too much.
There's no need for that, but I mean, based on the swap, it's not an unreasonable
and
swap.
and the VR6 is, I mean, arguably one of the coolest sounding engines. It's
I
pretty
know.
fucking awesome.
I want a VR6 swapped something. I just want to put it in
it's a
something.
cool sounding engine. I don't know if I'd want it in a Porsche too much.
It's already in a
but
Porsche. It's in the Cayennes.
Yeah, but that's not a 911.
Yeah, but it's a Porsche, though.
It is a Porsche.
That's true, and it's cool. It's actually, I never even thought of that. That's an interesting swap.
So I guess it would be on brand.
I'm down for that one. I wonder.
That would be so, like, every time I hear like Spencer gunning it, I'm like, oh, it just sounds so good. Like
Yeah.
it sounds like a supercar.
I'm surprised that it's not done more, actually, now that I think about it.
VR6 swaps
Yeah.
into Porsches.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, this is the first time I've ever heard of that happening.
Yeah. So it's cool. I
That's
want something
that
here.
piques my interest.
I'm behind that one.
Oh, okay, sick.
You got that one, Elvis.
This one is not. I mean, this is like an inline 5 Audi motor into an MR2.
There's lots of other choices that I would have went with before that one.
Isn't that it's a good sounding motor though, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Volvo makes a really good inline 5 too.
And then like a LS4, so the front wheel drive LS into a Pontiac minivan. Stupid or not stupid? Because that thing probably comes with 200 horsepower, maybe 150 or something.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not
Is
the
it
most stupid
is
thing
it
I've ever
is
heard
it
of.
is it like a mid rear drive conversion?
No,
Oh,
just
it's a straight
front wheel drive.
front wheel drive.
Straight front wheel drive. Yeah.
Man, I don't know.
Not that bad. I think
Yeah,
that's
yo, look at the thing
that's-
ripping burnouts, man.
Yeah,
That's
that's like
sick.
content creation. Yeah. There's no real good reason to do that.
True.
I'm not down for that. But it would be cool to do Bernie. So
V12 engine from a Ferrari 400i. It's transverse mounted, is into a 308. The guy
Yeah.
put a V12 into a 308.
That makes
that's
That's
that looks like a packaging nightmare.
yeah, I know it looks so
Holy
tight.
shit.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's
okay.
that's a beautiful looking motor.
Yes.
Man.
Okay, Subaru powered Mazda Miata.
No,
No.
that doesn't
No,
make any sense.
all-wheel
How-
drive.
How does that fit? The Subaru motor is so wide.
Yeah. You remember Jin Jim did it. It's not the same one, but Jin Jim did a STI swap into his Miata
But why?
because it's all-wheel drive and it's sick. And it works. He literally drives that thing like. he
Actually,
drives
you
it
know what?
thousands
I
of
remember
miles.
that because I think that was like some of the first videos I ever watched from Jinjiam.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
pretty sick. So I think that is glorious. But yeah.
Yeah, but I hear a lot of shit about the Subaru motors. I wouldn't go
Yeah,
there.
no.
seems-
I'm
yeah,
not
they're not
interested in
great.
it.
It sound like they're pretty problematic.
Yeah. Corvette Z06 powered C6 or Z06 powered BMW M3.
I'm down for that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That makes a
is
lot of
sick.
sense.
The chassis is built for the power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it fits in there nicely. It's a great engine and it's a great chassis. Hellcat,
Hellcat swapped Prius.
See, that doesn't make any.
Come on.
I think it makes all the sense. Yo, that is so sick.
I wish we could actually see this stuff being put to use.
People, they drove. I feel
Doing
like I've seen
burnouts
this-
in a straight line is not a thing. I
think
still
it's a
think we
thing.
need to put like a race day together for influencers to bring this stuff out and see.
1,000 horsepower, and it's, oh my gosh, I want to see that. Like a Hellcat swap Prius, yes, please. Okay, what else? Let's see. Porsche 911 Targa V8 swap. So
That is no,
you don't know?
no,
Like that looks like a 350.
no. What
something.
generation is that? No, that's a horrible swap. What a waste of a car.
What? No.
That's terrible,
For,
man.
to put a 350 in a Porsche, in a classic Porsche
That's
911.
probably like the Cadillac 502 or 500. Or
Oh
something.
yeah,
That
it
motor's
is.
a-
It is a Cadillac. Oh, okay,
That,
not an
mod-
LS.
that motor's a dog.
Yeah, that's not good.
Thing probably makes 250 horsepower.
1650 Mercury Marine swapped Dodge Charger.
I mean, that's
That's a
not
big
that's
car.
that's
That's
beyond my price range for
That's
sure. That's
insane.
sick though. Some of the Mercury engines are fucking incredible.
Yeah.
But
So
you better have deep pockets.
Yes. Oh my gosh, there's a lot. Oh, this one is pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the V12 twin turbo from the
Maybe we should do a podcast.
do another one.
More about this kind of subject matter.
weird engine swaps.
Hit us up. Let us know if you want to see us talk about this kind of
Yes,
stuff, because this is
weirdest
actually kind of
engine
interesting,
swap.
and
It
I
is
want to
pretty
see it go
cool.
beyond this.
Yes. And so if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel. What else?
That's it.
Is that it? Okay.
Stop putting engines in picnic tables.
No, please continue putting
Yeah.
engines to picnic tables.
Please do
because
not.
it's funny. Okay, we'll see you guys next week.
Okay.
Bye.
Peace out.